Yay Media Group.
Welcome to My Safe Word is More with your hosts from Survivor and the Amazing Race, Corinne Kaplan, stand-up comedian Al Jackson. I'm Chris Clark, your producer, and this is My Safe Word is More.
Yes. The show has begun because Corinne has thrown my remote.
I know.
You use technology and you hit buttons the way a grandmother in the 80s that's really like hates microwaves.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seems like you hate technology.
I do. I really do.
Okay.
And it doesn't agree with me at all.
You press the button with two fingers, like just to really let the computer know you're not
my
happy.
anger. He is referring to the timer because we are very professional over here at the Yay Media Group.
We are.
We are.
Yes.
Anyways, welcome to the show, guys. We have a whole bunch of things to get through today, and I'm pretty excited because I had two different things happen to me that are like once in a million in your lifetime happenings. And
Did you win Publishers Clearinghouse or something?
you are so close.
Really? I'm here for it.
Except I didn't win, but we'll get to it. And then I found my own wheelhouse with children, and it is that I am sort of good at doing homework. I had to do homework with a child this past week, and I think I did a decent job at it.
Wait, could you be any more vague? What is
know.
a child? A child could be 5, a child could be 14.
This was a fourth grader.
Okay.
And I'm going to go over some of the homework we did. And then we're going to get to some Go Nakeds where some people have some really amazing advice. And then in between all of that, I did get another PRP treatment. We'll get into what that is and what I think of it in a little bit. All right, so let's kick it off with the first incredibly wild thing that happened to me.
This better be incredible.
I think it is. So I was at the Denver International Airport, and that is, if you don't know, the largest airport in North America, which always baffles me.
Are you giving a tour to old people right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So I want you to understand that this is not like the fucking Burbank Airport. It's DIA. So I had to go to the airport, and I was getting there, as I do, very early. And in this case, I brought a sandwich to eat because I was at a lunch with a client before that, and I had ordered a sandwich and I didn't get to eat it. So I was like, oh, okay. Usually I just get to the airport and then I go, what's the most expensive place I can eat at? Oh, is Elway's open? I'll do that. We just got a new izakaya sushi. Let me do that. But in this case,
Wait, you eat at restaurants at the airport?
I get there so early that it would be weird not to.
Yeah, go to the fucking lounge with the rest of the adults. That's where we are.
No, I like to be served. I hate a DIY. I hate that I have to go up and put things on my plate. I hate it.
You don't like it either, Chris?
No, not really. I like to be served.
Yeah.
Really?
So I'll just pay whatever. I think like calories and money have no place in the airport or on airplanes. Like it doesn't matter what doesn't matter.
Okay.
So anyways, in this particular day, I did something I have maybe never done, which is brought food to the airport. So I go to the airport with the sandwich.
That's a little country.
Bringing food to the airport?
A sandwich that you made from home.
Oh, I didn't make it.
Okay.
No. It's like fancy
aluminum?
gourmet. It's a snarf sandwich. You guys don't know what that is if you don't live in Denver. But I asked for I like them to scoop the bread and then, I got a whole bunch of fancy things done to it. Fine. So I have this $18 sandwich that I brought with me. So I go to the mezzanine level, which I only had a whisper of an idea existed. And I go up to this area where you can just like sit at a table. It's not like connected to a particular restaurant. So if you're like me and you brought a sandwich, this is where you would eat it.
Right.
So I go up there and I finish eating my sandwich. I take the last few bites. I look up and I see, now you have to know, there are only a handful of people in my life that I could recognize from far away in a crowd and in the back of them. It's like your parents.
Okay.
Maybe a boyfriend.
Your friend with a fatty.
Yeah, that,
right.
A dump truck. This, in this case, was Bob Crawley, the man who I gave $1 million to season 17 of Survivor.
Wait, what?
So I'm like, I see and Bob is the oldest ever winner. He's probably, I'm going to ballpark it here, 112. He has Tales from the Crypt. He's the only person that's ever played that came in, had eaten nothing the entire time like all of us, and he lost 1 pound.
What? Okay.
Because he's just built like a skeleton. But like, I know this man's
Okay.
body because I lived with him. And I haven't seen him probably in person. I was on a Zoom call with him not too long ago, but I haven't seen him in person in like at least 8 years, like a long time. So
I would think somebody you gave $1 million to, that's a text every other day. So how much money's left, buddy?
No. But I mean, I could tell you lots of stories. Like Randy, who also played with me, who is probably, I mean, easily top, I don't want to exclude anyone, but very favorite person I play with. I loved Randy. Randy is a curmudgeon. Randy is also older. Randy fucking hated that we had to give the mill to Bob, but we had to because he was like the only good option. And whenever, like when we went to the Survivor cast parties and stuff, and I'm sorry if you don't listen to Survivor, the story will get better and you don't need to know anything about Survivor to respect the story. So we would go to these cast parties when we first won, like the finale, and Randy would just be like, "It's all going on your tab, Crawley. Like you're paying for all of us." Like he was always like,
that $1 million is living rent free.
Yeah,
yes.
He hates it. Okay, so I scream out, "Bob! Bob!" Like I'm like, I can't believe it's Bob, and I know it's Bob because his wife Peg, who I also know what she looks like, she's standing next to him, and even though it's the back of them, I'm like, it's definitely Bob and Peg. What are the odds that we are passing each other at the same moment in time at the Denver airport? I'm there early. He's on a layover coming back from Montana. He's trying to grab food in the mezzanine court area that I'm finishing my sandwich in.
There's a woman being tackled for screaming in the airport.
So, because if you know anything about Bob, and if you don't, I'm going to tell you. Bob's a guy that had one cool thing happen to him. Now, mind you, it's a very cool thing. He won Survivor. But that's where it begins and ends. That's Bob. And so when he first won, it airs like 6 months later in Australia. He flew to Australia and lived in Australia for the entire duration of that season so he could win again. He's that guy. So when he turns around, he thinks, and I doubt this ever happens, he thinks it's a fan.
Oh.
So you can imagine he's so crestfallen, but then he realizes it's me.
And he's happy again.
Yeah, and so he's like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Hi." He flips around. I have the picture. We will be putting this. If you are only listening and not watching, you're missing out because we have My Safe Word is More video on YouTube and you'll see a picture. Man is wearing a Survivor hat.
No.
He's wearing a baseball hat with the insignia Survivor on it. But everyone else is like, "Oh my God, this man travels in a Survivor hat to be recognized." And I was like, yeah, as does Rupert in tie-dye, who's another Survivor person. I, on the other hand, am fucking happy to not be noticed eating my sandwich. Like,
but you get recognized.
I do.
Yes.
For sure I do.
Matter of fact, I went to a wedding this last Thursday wedding. Shout out to Gabe and Kelsey, to our old editor, Chris from DBL. Yeah.
Thursday wedding.
Yes.
Why wasn't I invited
Strictly
to
for the unemployed.
And it was their second wedding. Well, they had two ceremonies. It's kind of sad. Her dad was sick, so they had one really quick one. But Gabe is a Survivor stan. And when he found out I did a podcast with you, he was like, oh, like I could see his face. I was like, I love when people love my friends. So
Yeah.
yes, that's cool.
Yes. Is he gay?
No, he got married to a woman, unless he's
Well-
really playing the long game with this.
I'm telling you, my fans are generally, that's my demo. So here's the thing. Randy, who I mentioned earlier, the curmudgeon, I knew Randy was going to be upset that I ran into Bob. He just doesn't, I knew it would upset him.
He can't let that Millie go, and I can't be mad at it.
Yeah. So I sent him the picture and I wrote down exactly what Randy said so I could share it with you all. Randy wrote, "Motherfucker. He was clean shaven at the start of Gabon. Now he has not shaved in 16 years. I hate him." And it's because he doesn't shave, you see, because he wants to get recognized.
Oh, I thought
I love you, Bob. I'm not making fun of you.
the way that you set it up, it seemed like a guy that wanted to, one of the weird people that's like, I want to do Survivor because I want to do it. I don't want the fame, like
Yeah.
how my dad would have done it.
Yes. I think that.
Like, it's weird that he wants fame.
Yeah.
There was no cameo when you guys
He's
won,
pushing 112. Yes.
and he still wants to be famous.
He really does.
And then his wife wants him to take that hat off. He's got it on in bed.
And she is she's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, I have nothing. I'm not dogging Bob, but I'm saying the facts here.
Can I ask you, as somebody that didn't watch Survivor, why do you think Bob didn't blow? Because he was the first one. So why didn't he blow up?
He wasn't the first one.
Oh, I thought he was the first winner.
No, No.
Richard Hatch.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's the oldest winner, which is not quite the same thing.
But can't he like get a like? There's a niche thing like he could be doing like
Miralax?
No, yeah, and also like you know how like they always have like. And old people can still get after it segment on Good Morning America.
Oh.
Like he could be like the old guy that's like, I'm not at the Cracker Barrel. I'm out wrestling shit.
I think it would be helpful if you had watched and saw what amount of riz this man has, because I think that's where the problem is.
We have a riz deficit.
Yeah, we do.
That's what's on his medical chart.
Okay. We have to take a break, but when we come back, I'm going to tell you about the second fucking 1 in a million thing that happened to me this week. Okay, so here is the other crazy thing that happened to me that I think is like, really...
Crazier than running into somebody at the airport, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if the payoff is going to be there.
I saw my old teacher at the grocery store.
Yo, I saw the one guy... The guy that I voted
random.
to give $1 million to. All right. So I was on a walkabout, and I was an hour into a 2-hour walk. And I spend a lot of time, when I was a little kid, I always, like, I don't know
Do you have a direction when you go on a walkabout?
No.
Have you ever gotten lost?
Yes.
How do you know when it's time to head home?
Usually I set a timer. So if I want to walk for 2 hours, I will walk for an hour wherever the fuck, and then I know it's going to take me about an hour to get back.
That's crazy.
I know it is, but it would be really boring if I did the same walk. That's why, when I meet friends to walk in Wash Park, I'm like very bored by that. Like it's the same shit.
Walking sucks. What are you doing?
I have to for my mental health.
Okay.
Actually, Erica has a shirt that says, "This is my silly little mental health walk shirt."
Very catchy.
I always think about it whenever I go on my walk. I'm like, it's my silly little mental health walk.
Hey, whatever works for you.
I don't know if it works, but okay. So on this particular day, I was feeling the mushrooms. Okay.
Okay.
I was really feeling like everything was coming together perfectly. It was a good day. It was just like a good day. I found out good news about work, and I was just in a really good mood. And so what I started to say as a kid, I don't know where I picked up this habit, and I know there's a Jewish joke in here, but let's refrain from that. I have always looked on the street for money, and then I also my mother used to get very upset. I used to put my finger in every payphone thingy.
Are you serious?
To see if there was a coin in there.
Do you have tuberculosis? It's disgusting.
I know. My
That
mother
is disgusting.
Not a fan of it. But I found so much change that way. And when I was a kid,
and a few syringes.
a quarter was a good. So anyways, I'm very used to looking at the floor. So not that long ago, maybe 2 months ago, I was doing that. I was on a walk with Jay and his dogs, and I saw a Visa card, not a credit card, but a gift card on the floor.
Right.
It was, I think, I don't know, maybe a Wells Fargo. It was just a card. And he goes, well, I'm sure someone discarded it because there's no money left. And I go, are you sure? So I sat there on hold. I called the 1-800 number, $243 left on the card.
Shut up.
And I was like, that's why I look on the floor.
That is a win. Wait, where did you see this?
I was just walking in our neighborhood. Somebody dropped it out of their wallet. And if I hadn't spent the time to call, everyone else that passed it, I'm sure just thought, well, there's nothing left on this gift card. Not I. So I always go the extra mile. So this is what I found. I've brought it with me.
Wait, what are you going to get with the gift card?
I already spent it.
On what?
Dinner. We took some people out to dinner.
Okay.
We went to my favorite, God, I'm calling it my favorite now. I can't remember. It's the oldest restaurant. It's the one with all 5,000 taxidermied things on the wall.
Jackson something?
No. Well, it doesn't matter. Nobody lives in Denver. Okay, so moving on. I found...
Can you get buffalo balls there?
Yes, that place. Rattlesnake.
Jeff and I did one of our first shoots ever in season 2.
I love it.
We fried buffalo balls at that place.
Yeah.
And we got them when they were raw, so the veins were still in them.
Ugh.
It was
I
rough.
love country shit. It's really expensive, but I really like the vibe in there. I mean, I would like to taxidermy this fucking alpaca I own, but he hasn't died.
Okay.
He will be on my wall. Okay, so I'm walking
You
and
say
I
that
find
to him every time you see him.
I do, and it'll be a lot easier to take that Christmas card photo. Okay, so I found a $20 lottery ticket. Okay,
That
you see at the top it says 20. Now immediately I was like, oh, you got to ball really hard to be buying $20 scratch offs. Sorry, I didn't make that clear. It's a scratch off. Scratch offs to me,
which is not scratched off at this time.
Correct. It is not scratched off.
Okay, and somebody dropped $20 on it?
$20. And you
Okay.
can see it's folded like it was probably in their pocket. So this is why I don't believe in manifesting. I have tried this before. Like there's sometimes I will believe something so wholeheartedly. Like I knew I was going to win the Amazing Race. I could see it in my mind. I could envision what it would feel like to hug Eliza when we won. And like we would go through like her and I would like, we visualized it to the point where like I was sure I was going to win. 4 legs into whatever, 12, we're out. So I don't believe in manifesting.
It doesn't work because everybody's having that exact same thing. It's like when somebody does the thing, Jim Carrey wrote $1 million check for himself and he cashed in when he was famous. Do you know how many millions of losers have done that in L.A. and ended back up in Peoria, Illinois with that same uncashed check? From the savings bank their grandmother got for them. It's just like, manifesting's cool when it works. It's like a slot machine in Vegas. They only make noise when they hit.
Yes, that's perfect. Well, in this case, I picked up this lottery ticket and I was like, I saw my whole life change before my eyes. I was like, I understand now. Like I was always meant to find a winning lottery ticket, which is like, I was telling Chris, my ex used to say after we had broken up that he had thrown away a winning lottery ticket by like getting rid of me, which he did. But I was like, this is it. This is the thing. Like I didn't win $1 million on Survivor. I didn't win $1 million on Amazing Race. I'm going to win $1 million like this, finding a fucking scratch off ticket in the street. This is my story.
No, the story is there was a man who was taking that $20 home to his family, hoping to enrich their lives because they're 5 deep in a 1-bedroom. And his story ended up as he had a few too many. It fell out of his pocket. And then that's where your story picks up.
Right. So I just was like really focused on how special this moment was. And I think it was the mushrooms because I don't really kind of usually err on the side of this kind of optimism. But I was certain. And I thought in that moment, I go, should I call my mom? Should I? And then I said, no, I should scratch it on the podcast because if I'm going to win, I was just so sure I was going to win that I was like, I should do this in a forum.
You'd like to rub it in as many people's faces as possible.
Chris asked if I'd give you anything and I said, yes. Not a lot, but.
Okay.
Both of us.
I know. Chris is like, hey, what the fuck am I over here?
Yeah,
okay.
But no, both of you. Riley too.
Let's get this out ahead of time because this is interesting. Let's say you hit for a significant amount. Let's not even.
Well, no, I know it's only $1 million.
Oh, it's only $1 million. Okay, so let's say you hit for $1 million. Are you going to make us beg, or are you just going?
No.
Or are you just going to break us off?
You're gonna get like 10, 15K a piece.
10, 15K?
Yeah, and I might buy you,
What?
a new pair of glasses.
I have glasses.
Yeah, but
$15,000.
I'm very generous. I am also going to remind you of that.
That's like my monthly nut. Like that's like 1 month of living.
Well, you know what? Take it or leave it. I will also
if
mandate.
she's got $1 million?
I don't have $1 million. After taxes, I have 600,000.
Can you divvy up 100,000 between me, Chris, and Riley?
No, I found the ticket. Just because I'm in studio, you don't get that much. You get a pair of glasses on top of the 10 or 15. And now it's going down to 10 with your attitude.
Oh, my God.
I'll tell you right now.
See, I'm happy.
Chris is like, I don't agree with that at all.
So I was just like, I was so focused that I couldn't, the rest of this walk, I was like, I just won $1 million. Like, this is what that feels like. I was sure. So by the time I get done with the walk, I say, I can't wait. I don't think I can wait because this is days away from when we're going to record. I can go in studio and it'll be just as exciting to tell them that I have more money. Fuck you. Right? It's just as much fun. Mm-hmm. So I go to Jay's house and I say, Jay, I get it. I walk in and I casually, I'm like, this is a very big moment. I'm pretty sure I just won $1 million. And he's like, what? And I said, and I need you to video me. Because I want like this is going to go so fucking viral. I am nothing if not an A+ content creator.
Okay,
spoiler, I'm not. I am terrible
You're going to scratch it now? Do you have a coin? Did you find one of those in a disgusting payphone? I have a blood-soaked nickel here. I'm going to scratch it off with. It's so disgusting.
It is.
That's like
disgusting.
reaching your hand in between the back of a movie seat.
Yes, I did that also.
Oh.
I was constantly trying to find change as a kid. All right, so I bring this over to Jay's, and I was like, get me a coin. And he's like, okay. He's like, that's gonna make a lot of mess because it's just so you can see if you're watching on video on YouTube, it is a large scratch off. So there's a lot of scratching that's gonna have to happen. And I turned it over. I'm reading the rules, like so I understand.
You read the rules?
Well,
I wouldn't do that for $1 million. I'm not reading the back. I think I got it.
well, here's the thing. As I begin, Jay sets up the shot. I've got the fucking quarter. I begin to go. I see the bottom is scratched.
Oh.
So I go, hey Jay, do you think it's a problem if the bottom barcode is scratched? And he's like, it's not a problem as much as it's already been taken to a gas station.
And cash?
And well, yeah, they scratched the bottom of it. They took it to a gas station.
They didn't scratch the other parts of it.
Well, you think I could maybe I go to a gas station with this?
I think the barcode just knows if it's a winner or not.
Right.
So like the hardcore player wouldn't even bother scratching. Right. They just scratch the barcode. They scan it, either win or lose.
They take it to the gas station. The gas station goes, it's a loser. And then they toss it on the street. And that's where I came in.
And that's where you picked it up?
That's right.
I'd still scratch it, though.
All right, I could still scratch it. I'm not going to bore you with it, but we'll scratch it after this.
Yeah, well, tune in to Instagram to watch you scratch off a losing lottery ticket. I would not begrudge anybody that stopped listening immediately. 1 star. That is
bonus content. Okay. Well, I also, in addition to not
Wait, have you ever won anything like that?
I play a lot of scratch offs, and I do. Yeah.
Do you have a life that I don't know as a failed skateboarder outside of 7-Elevens, harassing people your own age going in and out?
I really believe that you have to be in it to win it. I don't play the numbers one because I'm too lazy to check the numbers, but I like the instant gratification. I also go to bingo night sometimes.
How old are you?
Younger than Bob, the guy who won my first season.
Bob's like, I'm not at bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bingo is intense.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, and you got to bring purse wine to bingo.
Oh,
they don't serve any alcohol.
Well, you don't have to do that. You could just go and be a person there.
Oh, no. If you're going to sit around those old ladies with 19 bingo cards in front of them screaming, you got to have a little bit of a wine buzz.
How long does a round of bingo go in person? Because this is something I will never do.
Yeah, there's so many bingo halls in this area.
What?
They're everywhere.
There's like a whole world that I'm unaware of.
I love old people. I collect old people. I love them. I don't mind them at all. The round, it depends how quickly somebody wins, but there's many, many, many rounds in a night.
All right. Well, I want to hear about homework.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay. Anyways, so when we come back from this break, I'm going to tell you about the PRP that I also didn't have much luck with. But we're going to get into that, and I'll explain what that is right after this.
Stay tuned for more losing scratch-offs.
Yes. This time we scratch my face. Okay, so I have been doing PRP, and if you don't know what that is, it's platelet-rich plasma. They draw your blood, which you can see. I look like a heroin addict today. They draw your blood, they spin it down, the plasma rises to the top, and then they inject that in your face, and it's supposed to elicit collagen production, and it's instead of using filler. I personally only do filler in my lips. I won't do filler anywhere else because you get that pillowy look, right? You don't want to look like that over
How many
time.
payphones do you have to check to pay for this procedure?
Quite a few.
Okay.
Yes. So a PRP injection treatment can run between, I don't know, $300 to $500. Depends if you're doing microdermabrasion with it. I'm doing injection sites, not the whole face, but like specifically under my eyes and in what they call your marionette lines, like your nasolabial folds down to your marionette lines. Here's the thing.
You're like a crazy surgeon that kills people after dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing. The difference is that filler, when you put filler in, whatever you see when they've injected, that is what it looks like. And it lasts for like 1.5 years, but then it migrates to other areas of your face, which is why I don't want to do that. And I don't want that pillowy look. I want to look like I look, but this is a natural way to sort of achieve that because you're using your own.
Is filler what Siegfried and Roy had?
Yeah, it's what everybody.
That's your example.
I don't.
Madonna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everyone that you've seen, you know, I used to have a derm I went to in Beverly Hills that'd be like, if you see someone and you think they've had work done, they've had bad work done. You shouldn't be able to tell someone had work done. All right. So the PRP thing is they go and they inject it. The problem is it's exceedingly painful. And
Really?
I have done 2 treatments. They said you might need up to 3. This is my 3rd treatment, and Mama ain't a quitter. So I'm like, I'll do 3. I'll pay the money. I'll do 3. It's the pain, honestly, more than the money. It's very painful. So
What is it? Just because it's a needle in your face?
in a very sensitive area of your face, and they're pushing the plasma into under your dermal layer.
Do you respect people with face tattoos more now?
No.
Because that's a lot of pain.
I
when
guess it
people have them
is.
on their throat,
Yeah.
their airway, I'm like, their trachea. I'm like,
Those
how did
people
you do that?
are mostly high on meth, right? They're not sober getting those.
I feel like some people that get sober start getting tatted because it is a way to feel sensation. And if you are a person if you were addicted to hard drugs that
Yeah.
gave you a rush, I think tatting, especially when you're sober, is also kind of like part of that lifestyle, and also kind of a drug. The pain of
Yeah.
got
I mean-
one tattoo, and I'm talking like I'm
Yeah,
black ink over here.
My ex was like 80% tattooed, and he was a recovering opioid addict
Yeah.
and a real piece of shit. But yeah, he had a lot of tattoos, so maybe that is a thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, all
maybe
right,
you should
so-
get that tattooed on his back. My ex says I'm a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
Ask
Piece of shit,
inquire
quote
within.
unquote. Yeah. Okay, so I go and she says to me, "All right, I know that," because she has notes, and she goes, "I could see that last time you were in an extreme amount of pain. So we're gonna put numbing gel like on your under eyes and here, and we're gonna let that sit." And then she goes, "Now, you're gonna get your Botox today too?" And I said, "No, I can't. It's too much pain. Like when I get the Botox at the same time, now we're doing all the needle injections in my forehead and my crow's feet and my 11s. And then she's first going into the lower face, but it's just so much pain." So I said, "No, I think I'm gonna do that." And she goes, "Okay, because I can see a lot of mobility in your face."
Oh.
And I was like, because I thought I had more time. Like usually it takes 3 to 4 months. I'm at a little under 3-month mark. And she was like, So I was like, okay, obviously I'm going to get the Botox too. I'm not going to leave here with that as the comment made.
And I think she showed everybody that we are insulting each other the wrong way. Because if you and I were partners and we broke up and we went out of our mouths like, "I don't give a fuck, get the fuck out my face, bitch." And you're like, "I told her off," but you really didn't. It's when somebody says something personal like, "All right," with your wrinkled ass curtains.
Yeah.
Like just something like that, you know that
Yeah.
they thought that before, and now you're looking at your curtains like, "Are my curtains wrinkled?" That's way more hurtful than if somebody calls you an asshole.
Yeah.
Like somebody can call you that in traffic.
I get so abused at this place. It's the money, it's the pain, and then it's the insults. So then she says to me, she goes, "Now," I said, I have not, I go, "This is your last shot. This is my 3rd treatment. If I don't see any results, I'm not doing any more. Just so you can stop asking me about the PRP thing." And she goes, "You know what? Why don't you help me understand what is most concerning for you? Is it the creping under your eyes? Is it the hollowing? Or is it the dark circles?"
She did not say that.
Yes, she did. And I go, "Well, I was doing it preventatively. I did not know I had any of those."
Yeah, she's like, "We are at the gates. We are
So-
teetering on the brink."
Yeah. So I was like, "Go ahead and
awful.
shoot up my hideous face." So she goes, "All right, we're going to put the numbing stuff on, and then I'm going to have you wipe that off, and then we're going to ice it." She's really trying to mitigate the pain because the pain is so severe for me. So she puts the numbing stuff right under my eyes here. It's a sensitive area, right? And she leans me all the way back, which she doesn't always do, to put the Botox in for my forehead. When she leans me back and she starts the Botox treatment, the Botox, it triggers your sinuses, like it's, where they're needling. So it causes me to sneeze a whole bunch of times. And when I sneeze, I'm like, you scrunch up your face to sneeze.
Was she like, "Oh, your crow's feet"?
You shouldn't be able to sneeze if your Botox was still working. So, no, when I scrunch up my face, I don't notice anything is wrong because my eyes are closed because she's doing all this work. When I go to open my eyes, all of the numbing gel has somehow gotten into my lashes and into my eye. It is not meant for eyes. And I am fully blind. I cannot see. I am now screaming in pain. And I know for sure, when something gets in your eye and it wasn't supposed to be there. This wasn't like a little uncomfortable, like salt water, like when you're in the ocean.
She's been gaslighting you this whole time. So was she like, "That's
There's
part of it"?
She goes, okay, it's, it's fine. It must have. And I was like, I think what happens is you're not supposed to lay back because your skin is warm. It heats up and instead of it being like a coagulated gel, it's a liquid and it just dripped backward into my eye. The sneezing didn't help, but that certainly wasn't the only thing that caused it. And I can tell this is very bad. Very bad. And so she's like, "Okay, we're going to need to do it."
What's your sight at this point?
0. I can't, I am in
Out
so
of
much
both
pain.
eyes or one eye?
Both eyes. Both eyes completely blind. So she says to me, she goes, we're going to need to do a saline bath immediately. So I know she's a little worried, or she wouldn't be acting like that. Like, because I can tell I can't even blink. I can't open my eye at all. It's so painful. So she has to ram open my eye with her fingers, and she's pouring saline.
This moron that sucked dick at Florida State for 4 years is now performing a life-saving situation.
Wow.
So, I mean, for real, though, like, she has no medical training.
I signed a waiver at the beginning, like when I first started getting these treatments, that says like, there's like a very small chance you'll be blind. There's a bunch of risks. I was like about to encounter, it took about 25 minutes for me to get sight back. I didn't think I was going to be able to drive. Yeah.
You probably shouldn't have driven.
Shouldn't have.
Ask her when this happened.
Wait, when did this happen?
Yesterday. Yeah. And then I had to go to a fucking client dinner with partial vision.
You didn't have to go. I think you have an excuse. I'm blind.
I was like, well, I just...
Shut up. I'm listening to Helen Keller on Audible.
Yeah. So I just wanted to tell everyone out there that's been following my journey. The journey ends here. That is it for me. I will not be doing PRP anymore.
It is a unique skill set, because when you were talking to me about when she goes, is it the craping? Is it the crow's feet? People say to me, speaking of airports, one time I ran into a guy that did MMA at the airport. He fought on the circuit, but he was like, I don't know how you do stand up. And I'm like, you get kneed in the face for a living. And everybody's like, I couldn't do your job.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do her job in that I couldn't be so stoic and just deliver cold shade like I'm running a lemonade stand. Like, oh, is it your craping? I was surprised you could drive to get here. You're very brave.
Yeah.
And to talk to you in that manner she's effective at her job. She got you to do all the treatments.
Yeah. And then she said to me, she goes, if you don't want to continue doing PRP, there is a more advanced technique that we're now offering called Bright Eyes. And I was like, what's that run? And she's like, well, it's $1,400, but I would give you a deal for $990. And I was like, what? No, you fucked up. You should be comping this procedure, actually.
Right, and give me a round number.
Yeah.
I'll do it for $849. What?
Yeah. So, anyways, I shan't be doing this any longer. That is the last time you'll hear. I mean, obviously, I'll continue Botoxing and Botoxing there, but I won't be doing more PRP.
You're done?
Sure shit, I'll probably get into something else, so stay tuned, but I won't be doing more of that.
Okay, I will say this. You look great.
I should.
You look good. So, I mean, sadly, it worked. So I don't know if it's worth nearly being blinded, but would you rather you had a very pleasant experience and it didn't take?
No, I wouldn't. But I will tell you one of the other things I'm getting into, because you guys, write to us at mysafewordismoreadvice@gmail.com if you've had this done. They call this banding when you're starting to get bands on your neck. I want that taken care of. So I'm looking into the procedures that are available to me there.
Banding. They have all these terms.
Yeah. Well, they don't just call it this old face.
That sounds like what rappers would have when they had the stacks and stacks of cash. And they're like, I'm banding right now, dog. How you doing in your life? Yeah.
Okay, so we went a little long, and I'm not going to get to the kid stuff and the go naked stuff today, but don't worry. I will get to that next week for sure.
I can talk to you all day.
First thing I talk about, because it's really good. But what I do want to have time for is Chris's final thoughts. Chris, what do you got?
Well, first, I just want to say nice Helen Keller joke.
Shout out to Helen Keller.
Haven't heard one of those in a while. You know why she does the Botox? Or she talks you into the Botox? Because if you do the Botox and the PRP, it makes it seem like the PRP worked. Because you look better. You know what I mean? If you walk out of there and the Botox works right away, but the PRP doesn't.
But it doesn't. Botox takes a week to kick in.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
But it was a cute theory.
I had a little theory.
I get it.
Finally, what I've been thinking about is something Al told me. So, Al, why don't you... share.
Oh, just a little bright spot, because we don't want to end on a losing lottery ticket. I talked to two close friends yesterday on the phone. It's weird. They called me within an hour of each other, and they both were like, what's up with your girl, Corinne?
We have some interest?
Both of them. It was so weird. They've never met each other, ever.
Oh, my God.
I literally couldn't be in further parts of the country. Two homies were like, yo, what up with that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is very exciting. That was my winning lottery ticket.
Yeah.
I love it.
Literally, yeah.
Oh,
I'll tell you.
I hope this becomes a thing.
Well, that's why people tune into this podcast, not because it's a podcast about life.
It's mostly a podcast about how Bob Crawley is still famous.